Welcome to the Rise of the Trades podcast, the show dedicated to helping you to build, grow, and scale your trades or construction business. All rise for your host, Craig Wilkinson.
Welcome to this week's coaching episode of the Rise of the Trades podcast, where we help trades and construction business owners to skyrocket leads, explode net profits without having to graft 60 hours a week and becoming that busy fool. In this episode, I'm going to be teaching you the 16 website features that will turn your website into an inquiry generating machine. But before we go there, I'd like to make an announcement, and that is the doors to apply to join my inner circle, which is my 12-month marketing and business coaching program, is now open for you to apply. So if you are a trades or construction business turning over between £120,000 a year up to £5 million a year, and you're serious about scaling your business, making more profit and freeing up that valuable time for you and your family, then click the link within the description of this episode to discover more. Now let's transition over to this week's coaching episode. How frustrating can marketing sometimes feel, especially with the time and the money that you invest into your website? All that time creating and finding content to give to your web designer, who's now going to build you a sleek, modern website with all the latest bells and whistles on. And after months of backwards and forwards and toing and froing, swapping and sharing content with each other, your new all singing, dancing website is ready to go live, and now you are expecting an avalanche of new leads. And you're excited. You've got that social media post written out. You know the one that goes like this: "We've had a new website built. Here's the link. Please go and check it out." But no avalanche of leads. Nothing comes in. But wait, remember Google's crawlers and spiders that have got to crawl your new website to index it to start showing up on Google rankings. Maybe their crawlers haven't been over our website yet. So 3 months go past and still no avalanche of leads. 6 months go past and now you're losing faith. Come 12 months, you realise that you've wasted your time and your money on a website and a web designer who hasn't got a clue. So grab a notepad and grab a pen, grab your tablets, as I normally ask you to do, and let me explain to you and make notes of why this is happening to you, why this is happening to web designers, and why they are failing your business. Failure number 1. Your website has been built with no strategy whatsoever, and it's more than likely been built by somebody who doesn't understand marketing strategies. They might know how to build a pretty looking website, but your website is just one of many, many tools that come together to form your marketing strategy. And what I always share with you is this: you, the business owner, you who are investing your time and money into marketing, you've got to understand what your own strategy is. Because if you're just going to go out spending money willy-nilly with web designers on websites, social media management companies managing your social media, videographers shooting videos, paid ad companies looking after your paid ads, and all of them are not pulling together and working towards one marketing strategy, you're going to end up with 4 or 5 different people involved with the marketing side of your business that hasn't got a clue with what they're doing. And basically, they're taking their own interpretation of your business, of your products, of your services, of your target market, and then putting together and bodging together something that they think is going to generate you leads. And what happens? You spend your hard-earned cash with these marketing agencies and companies to find out further down the line that what they've done has not generated your leads. Now, you've got to take ownership, accountability, and responsibility for your marketing strategy. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to build your own website. You don't have to run your own paid ads. You don't have to shoot and edit your own videos. But what you must do is you must create a marketing strategy that everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet. And when you have a website built, it's likely going to be a cheap template WordPress website, let's say, where your web designer is going to get you a pretty looking website that might look nice, but it's not generating you the leads that it was designed to do. And that's what a website is designed to do. It's designed to build know, like, trust and confidence in the people that land on your website, and you've got to push them and navigate them towards that get a quote button or book a home survey button, so they take some form of action on what you want them to do to move them to the next part of the sales pipeline. Now, if you want to understand and learn what the 5-step marketing strategy is to skyrocket more profitable leads and for you to be in control of your entire marketing strategy, so never have your pants pulled down again by these so-called marketeers, if you want to know that knowledge, then at the end of this episode, I'm going to suggest that you go and listen to episode number 12, where I share what that 5-step marketing strategy is that you need to introduce into your business. So failure number 1 is there is no strategy. Someone just knocked you up a website that's got no bigger picture towards it, and that is never going to work in a million years. Failure number 2. Your web designer has more than likely built what I call a brochure website. A brochure website. And for me, there are 2 types of websites. There are brochure websites, so if I explain what that is, and then I'll explain what the other one is. A brochure website is exactly what it says. It's a brochure. It's an online brochure that someone's called a website. And what they've done is you've got your home page, you've got your About Us page, you've got your services page, you've got your gallery page, you've got the bog standard website where people who stumble across the website come to it, and it's more of an informational brochure that tells people what your business does. So it might look pretty, but it's never designed to convert. And it sure as hell is never going to show up in the Google rankings because it's a brochure website and it's not being SEO'd. And the only way that your future potential customers are going to find that brochure website is when you put a post on Facebook or LinkedIn and you put a link back to your website, then people click the link and you're driving organic traffic off social media back to your website. Or you hand out a business card, maybe at a networking event, and someone looks at your business card and follows your domain URL on your business card. Then they can find it. But because it's never been SEO'd and it's not been indexed correctly on things like Google Search Console, Google aren't finding your website, therefore they are not ranking it. So it will never be found by the masses of people that are keyword searching on Google or Bing to find your product and service because you've got a brochure website. Now, the second website, and this is what we build in I have got a marketing agency called Leadzilla. What we build in Leadzilla is we build high converting SEO websites. And these websites have got the 16 fundamental features that every single website must have on it to turn it into an inquiry generating machine. We've done all the SEO keyword research for you, and we've built a website with on-page and off-page SEO that's done to the max. We then index that website on Google Search Console so that Google spiders go and index your website, and then with ongoing monthly SEO that's done correctly by professionals that know what they're doing, that's working to a strategy, over the period of months, your website will start to climb those pages. And the ultimate goal is you need your website to be on page 1 of all the search engines, ideally in the top 3 spaces. Because if we can take top spot 1, 2 or 3, and we're showing up in Google Maps, and maybe you are running Google Ads, then all of a sudden you are dominating and you are showing up on page 1 a number of times. And it's when you do that and follow the 16 features I'm going to share with you to navigate people around a high converting website and get them to do what you want them to do, that's when you'll get an avalanche of leads. So failure number 2 is you've been built a brochure website that's not been SEO to the max, so it's never going to be found by the masses of people searching for the search terms to find your product or service. Failure number 3, which I've just alluded to, is your website has not been SEO'd. It might have got the very, very basic of basic SEO done, just to allow your web designer or whoever's built your website submit your sitemap to search engines such as Google or Bing. So it might have got the basics of basics done that needs to scrape the boat and the bucket to get on Google, but all of the top SEO work has not been done. And you automatically think that because you're having a website built, that the website is going to be SEO to the max. Well, 9 times out of 10, web designers will not allow for SEO on the price of the project because the SEO pushes the price of the project up. And some of these web designers that are living hand to mouth, week to week, they want your business. So they'll build you the basic of basic. It might look pretty, it might look nice on the eye, but it's never going to convert. Why? Because nobody's finding it because it's not being SEO'd correctly. Failure number 4. You do not have the correct features that have been added onto your website and have been added in strategically planted and put places across your website. Your website's got all the basic boring stuff that every single website in the world has got on, because these are just standard things that can be added or bolted or thrown onto a website by any web designer very quickly and very easily. But because there is no strategy around the website, therefore there is no strategy around the features that have been added to the website. So people might be finding your website, they might be looking at that business card, or they might have seen a post on Facebook and followed the link. But when they get back to your website is dull, it's boring, it's not got what they're looking for. You can't navigate a stranger or a customer around your website because the website navigation is not right, because the features aren't right on your website. And again, I'm going back to, you've got a bog standard brochure website with a bog standard menu bar and the bog standard features on it. That is never going to convert people in a million years. And they're the reasons why your website is failing. So the first thing we have to understand is actually what is the purpose of a website? Because most people are going to say, well, surely, Craig, a website is designed to generate a lead, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. But to generate that lead in the first place, the website has got to have a certain purpose, certain features, and the right strategy to enable people to feel confident and comfortable that you and your business can solve the problem that they're currently looking to be solved. And once your website has built all that lot inside that potential customer, then it equals a lead. So for me, the purpose of a website are as follows. Write these 7 steps down. Number 1, your website purpose is to become an online sales tool that people can find 24/7 on search engines, and not be relying on you posting on social media for people to find your website. It's designed as a sales tool. It's to create and generate sales. But to do that, it needs to be open 24/7, and it needs to be on the search engines for people to find it. Purpose number 2. It's an opportunity for you to build the 4 most important words that go into your marketing strategy. And I want you to write these down. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to do a full-blown episode just on these 4 words alone, because this is how important these 4 words are. Number 1, your website purpose is designed for people to get to know what products and services you are selling. Now, you might say, well, that's obvious, Craig, innit? I'm an electrician, and on my website, I do rewires, I do EV chargers, I do consumer units, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. I get that. But there's a certain way in which we present that information on the homepage of a website so people can find your most profitable product and service, and we don't overwhelm them with too many things that we do. So your website is designed for people to get to know what you sell. The second word is the word like. And your website has got to build likability, because people aren't going to buy from someone or a business that they don't like. So how can we get people to like you on your website? What content do we need to put on there that makes you and your team a friendly team? How can we get to like you? The third word is trust. And we've got to make sure that we are building trust up within the people that have landed on our website, because if they don't trust us, they're never going to buy from us. So video testimonials, case studies, 5-star reviews, all that trust that we can add onto our website so we can turn our customers into a sales team, and that equals trust. And when we've hit the trigger of getting people to know us, when we've hit the trigger of getting people to like us, and when we hit the trigger of getting people to trust us, that builds the 4th word. And that 4th word is the word confidence. Because once you build up enough confidence that you can solve that potential future customer's problem or pain point that they're experiencing, when they're confident that you can do it, because they've got to know you, they've got to like you, and they've got to trust you, that equals a new lead. So number 2, the purpose of your website is to build know, like, trust and confidence. Purpose number 3. It's a general introduction to you and your business and what you're all about and what you sell. And I say a general introduction because you've got absolutely no idea who's landing on your website and what information or research they've already done on a product or service, or the research they've already done on you as a business. So it's to give people general broad information about what your business does and what it is, who your target market is, the problems and pain points that you solve, how long does it take lead time to work with you, what are your payment terms, What are some budget figures? It's that general information to make sure that they know that they're in the right place. Purpose number 4. It's to advertise and promote your most profitable products and services. Because what we find with websites is you ram that much on it and ram that much on your homepage and ram that much on your service page that someone's coming to that electrical contractor's website and they want to look for a rewire. But the website is full of EV charging points and the website is full of small minor works like changing light bulbs and fitting sockets, or you're working for domestic or you're working for commercial, and all of a sudden they can't find what they're looking for. They get overwhelmed and they bounce and they leave. So we've got to make sure that you are promoting and advertising on that homepage your most profitable products and services and not cramming it with too much. The purpose number 5 is to promote social proof. Social proof is where you have got video testimonials, let's say, of your happy customers and clients that are on your website telling the world how amazing, how clean, tidy, on time, on budget that you were, how amazing communication, how professional your team and your staff were, and how they would recommend you to anyone considering A, B or C. So we turn your customers, happy customers, into a sales team, and that goes on your website. Likewise with all your reviews, whether that's on Google, Which, Trusted Trader, Checker Trade, whatever, Trustpilot, we pull them all through. And all that is hitting the trigger of the trust. People can start to trust you because they're hearing from other people how amazing you are. Purpose number 6. The website is designed to showcase your experience of how experienced you are and your authority in your industry and your sector. And how we do that is through your personal branding. You personally have got to be all over your website. And if you've got a team, you've got to have images of your team all over your website. Or otherwise, how can you demonstrate your authority? Because they don't even know who they're dealing with. You're a faceless company if you're not on your own website. So we need to showcase your experience, your authority on what you've done, how long you've been in business for, what accreditations you've got, what awards that have you won, all that lot, that authority building needs to go onto your website. And the final purpose of the website, which is number 7, is to give you an opportunity to take people to that next call to action. In other words, they've landed on your website and the first 6 purposes, we've hit them, we're doing a great job. Right, what do you want them to do next? Because when someone comes back to your website, you've got to navigate them round your website as though you sat next to them at midnight on a Sunday evening. When you're in bed, you've got to navigate them around the website as though you're whispering in their ear, click on this button, go to this page, play this video. Are you with me? So it's an opportunity then that when we built that know, like, trust and confidence, that we need to tell them what we want them to do next without actually being sat next to them whispering in their ear. And that is the purpose of a website. And if we can achieve those 7 things on your website, then that's going to equal confidence that you can actually solve the problem they've got, and then they'll follow that final call to action and do what you want them to do. So that's the purpose of a website. Now, I'm here sharing this to you on a free podcast. Has your web designer or your marketing team ever sat you down and explained what I'm sharing with you now? Have they ever explained why websites are failing? Have they ever explained the purpose, the sole purpose of a website? Have they done that? If not, why are you paying them? Surely it's their responsibility for them to be telling you this, not relying on me on a free podcast to educate you on what they should be doing for you. Now, one of the biggest failings we see in why websites aren't converting, it's down to the missing features that are not on their websites. It's as simple as this. And we always make sure that we add 16 fundamental features to our websites. Now, some trades, some industries, some sectors might not need all 16. We might only add 10 on. But in most cases, our websites are built with the vast majority of these 16 fundamental features on. And if you don't get these fundamental features onto your website, I guarantee that it's going to hamper the amount of people that are going to leave you an inquiry on your website. So yes, they look pretty and they might look slick and they might look modern, but without these features on, you are not going to turn your website into an inquiry generating machine. So again, grab your notepads, grab your pens, grab your tablets. I'm now going to run you through what the 16 killer fundamental features are that you've got to have on your website. Are you ready? Let's get stuck in. Okay, killer feature number 1 is what we call above the fold line. Write it down, above the fold line. And what we mean by this is 9 times out of 10, people will land on your homepage. Not always. They can also land on different pages on your website, but the vast majority of time, they will land on your homepage. And right at the very top of your homepage, no doubt you'll have your logo top left. You'll have your menu bar with all your tabs and your services across the top. And then usually you'll have an image right at the top of your website that's got a message overlaid on it. And what we say is that is the prime real estate on the whole of the website. Your most important section on your entire website, whether it's your homepage or whether it's a service page or any other page, is above the fold on the homepage. So you've got to make sure that the number one thing, the number one call to action that you want people to do on your website is what? What is it? And generally, what we will do is we'll replace that image at the top with a video. And it's usually either an introduction video introducing you and your business, or it's what we call a hero video, which is just a short video playing like on a loop, on a reel, that gives people a snapshot of all the different things you do in your business. And then overlaid on top of that video is a call to action button. And that call to action button could be as simple as click this button to play this video. Now, why do you think we want them to play that video above the fold line? Well, as part of the marketing strategy that I teach you, it's to play the video because in the video, we can script the video to get people to know you, to get people to like you, to get people to trust you. And once they've usually watched that 1.5 to 2 minute video, the deal is done. Because already in that video, you've explained who your target market is. You've explained the products and services you offer, so they've got to get to know you. They've got to get to like you because you're on the video itself and you're open and transparent and you're showing under the bonnet of your video, so they're getting to like you. And they're also getting to trust you because you can start to drop in there maybe video testimonials or how many reviews you've got, or you're the number one reviewed plumber, joiner, plasterer in your region. It builds know, like, trust and confidence. So killer feature number 1 is to get the above fold line correct with the right call to action that you want and the right message on. And if you haven't got the budget to stretch to a video and you're not comfortable in shooting and editing one yourself, if you're going to have an image up there, please don't have that image. You know, that ego image where you've got like all your vans lined up in like a V with all your team stood at the side of a van with your arms crossed, because nobody gives a shit. Nobody's bothered how many vans you've got. That's just an ego trip for you to go, look how big my business is. Are you with me? People, you shouldn't have your van above the fold line. Remember, above the fold line is the most powerful form and part of your website. So why stick your bloody van in that prime real estate? Who cares that you've got a van? Who cares that you've got 10 vans or 20 vans? That's not going to solve their problem. So get the right image that depicts what you and your business does and get the messaging on the image at the top correct. Call out your target market on that image. Give them a call to action button. Stick a button right in the middle of that image so they've got to click it, because that's what we want them to do. Killer feature number 2. Videos. Videos. I first uploaded my very first video into YouTube on the 26th of October 2010. 2010, I were into video marketing. Yet in today's day and age, when we've all got HD video cameras in as pockets on as phones, and we can all have 25, 35 quid plug-in mics off Amazon, there's no excuse for people to not be shooting videos in today's day and age. It's ridiculous. So, the 3 videos that you must have on your website, I mean, there's a lot more than this. I can give you a list of 10. But the 3 most important videos that you've got to have on your website if you're going to turn it into an inquiry-generating machine. Number 1, a company overview introduction video. And that is an overview introduction video that would usually sit above the fold line or on your homepage, where you're on the video, calling out your target market, explaining what you do, getting people to like you, getting people to trust you. We need an introduction video, because them videos build so many emotional triggers into them. It's unbelievable. Number 2, you need video testimonials, a minimum of 3. Of your happy customers and clients telling the world how amazing you and your business are and how they would highly recommend you and your business to anyone considering A, B and C. And the third round of videos that you need are what I call knowledge videos. You might call them how-to videos. So I'm a joiner me by trade, as you now know. So I might do, this is a video on how you hang a door. This is a video on how you scribe a skirting board. You might be a plumbing and heating engineer, and you could do a video on how to top the pressure up on your boiler, how to remove a radiator off your wall so you can decorate behind them. Remember, the purpose of the website is for you to show your authority, for you to show your experience. So if you've got how-to or knowledge videos on your website where you're demonstrating that you know your job inside out, and we can do that in video, that equals trust. So, recap. 1, a company overview introduction video. 2, 3 video testimonials as a bare minimum. And 3, the knowledge stroke how-to videos to demonstrate your authority that you know what you're doing. Killer feature number 3, case studies. Case studies. And what I mean by case studies is like, let's say, a write-up of a job that you've recently done. And in that write-up of that job, you're going to be talking and you're going to be calling out your target market in that case study. You're also going to be calling out the town or the city that particular job was in, because it's great for SEO purposes. You're then going to go into a description of what was the problem and the pain that the customer was experiencing that led to them contacting you. Then what you're going to do is you're going to transition over to how you solve that problem by doing what. What did you do to solve the problem? And then you finish the case study off at the end with a quote, from your customer, and ideally a photograph of you and your customer, or your customer and your team, maybe stood side by side, smiling or shaking your hands with your customer, to show people that it's a real job and a real customer. And when you start to put all these mini case studies together on your website, and we start to cram them case studies with keywords such as rewire in Sheffield, all of a sudden we're getting the keywords that people are searching for into these case studies, which is going to help us when it comes to SEO. And remember, case studies are another form of social proof. It's another piece of content that builds trust. So, killer feature number 3 is get case studies on your website. Killer feature number 4. On the homepage of your website, slap bang in the middle of that homepage, you need to be promoting and advertising your 6 most profitable products or services on that homepage. Now, you might say, well, hang on a minute, Craig, I don't have 6, I only have 2. Right, that's fine. If it's 2, it's 2. But you don't want to cram more than 6 things onto the homepage of your website. And I know that for some of you, you'll offer more than 6 and you try and put too much on and it's too overwhelming. So I want you to put 6 of the most profitable products and services that you offer slap bang in the middle of that homepage, so when people land on your website to buy the most profitable product and service, and if you understand the numbers in your business like I teach you, you'll be sacking off all the things that don't make you any money or attract time-wasting customers or bad payers. You'll sack them off and you'll replace them with profitable products and services. So that's exactly what you need to do in the middle of your homepage. So when people land on your website, they can see straight away, bang, oh, it's that product or service I'm after. I'm in the right place. Brilliant. Killer feature number 5. Call to action buttons. And what I mean by this is, when you go onto somebody's website, you'll see a button, and then that button is designed for somebody to click it and take action. So in your case, it might be click to get a free quote. And when they click that button, it sends you over to the vetting form. Please don't tell me you're sending people to a contact us form, the old bog standard, old fashioned contact us forms that don't convert and are old school. You need to be sending people back to a vetting form. Now, these call to action buttons, when you look on people's websites, there's hardly any of them. There might be one if you're lucky on each page. Well, listen, when people are scrolling down your pages on your website, you've got no idea what page they're on, and you've got no idea whereabouts on that page they're at. And at the point where you hit that know, like, trust and confidence in that person that's now looking at your website, at that point, you need to give them multiple opportunities to hit a call to action button. What you don't want to do is build know, like, trust and confidence, and then they're scrolling to find a button on a page to reach out to you or to contact you. And then because you've got none on, or lack of them, they'll naturally gravitate to the contact us button at the top, click contact us and fill that out. Well, listen, that's boring. Them contact us, although they might work in certain cases. And when I say that, I mean, that's probably the only way you've got of being able to contact you on your website. So they've got to use it so they work. You need a vetting form. You've got to put people through a vetting form. So I want you to add lots of call to action buttons on every page on your website. 3 or 4 call to action buttons at different sections on that website. One near the top, one near the bottom, couple in the middle. And that way, no matter where they're scrolling, there's always a button within a scroll for them to click. Okay? Now, the other tip I'm going to give you with call to action buttons is if all of your call to action buttons have got the same message on, i.e. get a free quote, get a free quote, get a free quote, get a free quote, or contact us, contact us, contact us. That call to action message might not appeal to that particular customer. They might not want to contact you. That's not what they might want to do. They might be looking for a free quote. Are you with me? So what you've got to do is on them call to action buttons, you've got to mix up the different messages that are on them buttons to appeal to more people. So you haven't just got get a quote, get a quote, get a quote. You've got get a quote, click this to download our lead magnet, subscribe to our podcast or our newsletter, request a brochure. Are you with me? So we've got multiple different messages on lots of different buttons, giving people different bites at the cherry to do what we want them to do. Remember, we're navigating them around our website by having these different call to action buttons. Killer feature number 6. Personal branded images. And what I mean by this is you've got to have multiple different images of you, the business owner, and your team, if you've got a team, and I appreciate not everybody has, so it might be just you. You've got to be on your website. Because in today's day and age, people want to know who they're dealing with. People want to know who they're speaking to. People want to know who's going to rock up at their home or their business premises to come and do that survey. People want to put a name to a face. So if you've not got any photographs of you or your team that are coming to do the job on your website, you are a faceless company. Nobody knows you. So how can we build up know, like, trust and confidence if people don't even know you because you're a faceless company? So you need to get photos of you on different pages and your team on different pages so you look personal, you look approachable, which builds know, like, trust and confidence. Killer feature number 7. Lead magnets. And what I mean by a lead magnet is where you're going to give something away for free on your website, but in return for that free bit of information, you are going to request their first name and email address. So let me give you an example. You might be a kitchen fitter, right? So you could have, and I'm just coming off at the top of my head, by the way, here, you could have an ebook or a guide to the top 10 mistakes people make when buying a new kitchen. Now, take that, just literally take that as a heading. The top 10 mistakes people make when buying a boiler. The top 10 mistakes people make when employing a builder. Are you with me? Now, if you're driving traffic back to your website from places like social media, or people are organically finding you on Google because your SEO's working and they land back on your website, 9 times out of the 10, they're landing on your website because they've got a problem that you can solve. So by having a lead magnet on your website that allows people to leave their first name and their email address to get the knowledge that you're giving away for free, i.e. the top 10 mistakes people make when buying a new kitchen, they will want to know what that information is. They won't want to miss out on that, but to get it, they've got to give you first name email. Now, when they give you first name email, that then goes into an automated email marketing campaign in something a tool such as ours, which we use, which is Leadzilla, right? And what that does is that automatically triggers emails, and you can set this up for SMS, for text messages if you want to capture their mobile number. It triggers emails and text messages, not selling to that potential customer, but educating them on why they should consider you. And in them emails or in them text messages, we can put links back to your website to watch customer testimonials. So we turn your customers into your sales team. Are you with me? So killer feature number 7 is you need lead magnets, multiple if possible, or at least one on your website. Killer feature number 8. These are what I call multiple opt-ins. Now, hear me out on this. What I mean by a multiple opt-in is giving people different opportunities to leave their details with you. Because if you've just got a website that's got literally the bog standard old-fashioned contact us form on, the only way of people being able to contact you is through that form. Okay, you might say, yeah, but Craig, I've got my landline or my mobile number on there. Yeah, but what happens if it's 11 p.m. on a Sunday night? They're not going to ring you. Yeah, but I've got my email address on there. I get that, but now you're making it difficult for people to contact you. You're not making it easy. So by having different bites of the cherry to allow people to leave their details with you, you're making it easy for people to give you information that you need to build that relationship up with. So multiple opt-ins. We've got vetting forms, which is an opt-in. We've also got a lead magnet that I've just said that's an opt-in. You could have another one that says subscribe to our newsletter, or you could have another one that says subscribe or download our brochure. Are you with me? Straight away, you've got 4 to 5 different opt-ins and different opportunities for people to leave the details with you so you can continue to market to them. Killer feature number 9. And this is vetting forms, pre-qualification vetting forms. And I'm a firm believer in getting rid of time wasters and tyre kickers up front as early as we can in this process so they're not sapping your valuable time. The only way you're going to get rid of time wasters and tyre kickers coming into your business is by putting them through a vetting form, where you're going to ask them a series of questions that's going to gather the information off them so you can determine from the information that they've left whether they are your target market or whether they in actual fact are time wasters and tyre kickers. So asking questions around what's the product or service, what are the timescales for the installation, what are the budget. And I know what some of you are going to say, you can't ask that because they're not going to tell me. Rubbish. Every single vetting form that we build, or I teach my Inner Circle members how to build, people fill them vetting forms in because there's a way in asking for the budget. You won't just come out and say, give us your budget. There's a certain way in which we ask for it that always gets the budget. Now, if we can extract information like this through a vetting form, and our vetting form allows them to upload images, such as, let's say you are a plasterer and somebody's rung up and said, right, I want a bedroom skimming. Please don't tell me you're going to travel other side of your town and city to go and have a look at a job, to get there, to come back, to put a price and a quote together, and then you send it out and then they ghost you, or they said they got a cheaper price. In these vetting forms, you can say, right, take a photograph of your bedroom, right, and give me the measurements of the walls or the ceiling. And they go on to the vetting form. All that information comes through to you. So you've got the time scales, you've got the budget, you've got the images from the vetting form that they sent, you've got the measurements for the bedroom, you've got the postcode, you know where the job is. Surely you can give them a realistic budget figure over the phone to see if it's worth your time going out. And if they say, actually, yeah, that's about right, then you go out and do the site survey or home survey. Are you with me? So number 9, replace that awful contact us form with a vetting form. Key killer feature number 10. Blog articles. Blogs. You must have a blog on your website. And I know what some of you are going to say. Yeah, Craig, I've got one. Right, how many blogs have you got on? Because if you've got an handful and the last time you uploaded a blog onto it was 6 months ago, it's pointless. So blog articles, as I'm sure you're now aware, are written content that's like a page on your website where you are going to write something up about a product or service or a project that you've done. Now, here's the mistake that people make. If you're writing blog articles, you might be thinking, oh, what could I write about? Or what could I tell my web designer to write about this month? And you come up with these random things that you think are going to be useful for people to understand and know. And that is not what you do. A blog article is designed to be submitted to Google, so it's indexed and can be found on Google for people typing certain keywords. So you don't want to be doing random blog articles. You need to be doing keyword research around what it is people are searching for. And then what you do is you write the blog article along with images that support that blog. You write them in that blog that's SEO'd with the keywords that people are searching for. And then when that's added to your website, it's then submitted to Google to be indexed. And all of a sudden, you can start to get found on Google through your blog articles. Okay? So I want you to start to create SEO blog articles whereby your website is updated a bare minimum of once a month with a new blog. If you can do it once a fortnight, even better. If you can do it once every week, then even better. Because all that keywords that you are building into them blogs are going to allow your blog to get found on Google, which is now driving traffic off Google back to your ultimate sales tool, which is your website. Killer feature number 11 is a vlog. Not a blog, a vlog. And basically, the difference between a blog and a vlog is the vlog has got a video that supports the blog. So imagine a blog article that you've just written. That's brilliant. But imagine now you recording a video basically saying what you've written with them keywords in that you're speaking. If you support a blog with a video, it now becomes a vlog. And that vlog is more powerful than just the blog. Because as we know, Google love videos. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. So if we've got videos embedded onto our website, Google are going to favour that and they're going to rank you higher. So if we can create a video that supports the blog and we add the video to the blog article, so now we've got the video, the written content and the images, you've now got a vlog. Killer feature number 12. Reviews. Reviews. Now, we've already covered some social proof, haven't we? In the fact that we're going to have video testimonials on his website. And we're also going to have case studies on his website. That's all social proof. Now, reviews, we need to get them on as well. But I'm not talking about Mickey Mouse reviews that you just write up, put into little speech marks at the side and say, Mrs. Jones said, and a quote. Because let's face it, anyone can fudge them. So what we need to be doing is, we need to be pulling through verified reviews from places such as Google, Trustpilot, Check a Trade, Which Trusted Trader, whichever directories people are leaving reviews on for you, they need pulling through onto your website as social proof that you can solve the problem that they've got. So number 12 is reviews. Killer feature number 13. Social media integrations. And what I mean by social media integrations are most websites nowadays will have an icon to Facebook. And then you might have, let's say you're on Instagram, you might have your Instagram icon next to your Facebook icon. Then you might have got a YouTube channel, then you'll have the YouTube icon. Now, their social media follow icons. Whereas when they click the Facebook one, it's going to take them off your website over to Facebook, which is usually a Facebook business page, so they can like your Facebook business page. But remember this. We need to get traffic back to our website. So why the hell would you want to send people off of your website back to social media where they might have first come from in the first place? You're defeating the object of getting people back to your website if you're going to drive people back off it. So I'm guessing that most websites now will have these follow icons on. And what I'm here to tell you is this. if you've got your social media follow icons above the fold line that we started off talking about, and let's say they're in the top right-hand corner of your website, above, right at the very top, get them moved. Because remember, anything above the fold line is prime real estate, and you're getting people to do what you want them to do and click what you want them to click in that prime real estate above the fold. So you want to move them social media follow icons out of the top right-hand corner, and you want to put them in your footer right at the bottom of your website. Because we want the icons on, because it's good for Google's tick box for SEO. It's one of the things that they want you to have on, but we don't want people to be really clicking them and taking them off our website back to our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Are you with me? So shove them down in the footer out of the way. They're still on your website, but we don't want to encourage people to click them. Now, there are two other social media icons, if you like, that you can have on your website. Let me share the second one with you. These are social media share icons. And what I mean by share icons is this. Any type of content that you want people to share onto their social platforms, you need to have a share button at the bottom of that page. So what I mean by this is, think of blog articles. Blog articles are really important, or vlogs, and you would want to encourage people to share that blog article from your website onto Facebook or onto LinkedIn. And by having share buttons at the bottom of your blog article, they can click the share button, let's say Facebook, and it pulls the URL page in from that blog and puts it straight onto their Facebook so they can share it. So we're making it easy for other people to share our valuable content onto their social platforms by having social media share buttons. Now, I'm big on these, and if you're listening to my podcast right now and you're on our website listening to this podcast, if you were to scroll down, you will see at the bottom of the page, you'll see the share buttons that I'm describing now. So guess what I'm going to ask you to do? A call to action. If you would be happy to click one of them social media share buttons and share this episode onto your social platform so we can help other people, you'll get to see how this works. And the third social media type of icons are social media walls. And what these are is this is like a section on your website where you are pulling through all of the posts that you put on your Facebook page. They pull through onto your website, or all of the posts that you're sharing on Instagram pull through as a live feed onto your website, or all of the posts that you put onto LinkedIn are pulling through as a live feed onto your website. So you've got a live feed of scrolling posts that you can share with people that you are putting on all different types of social media platforms. You can pull them, we call them social walls. You can pull them feeds into your website. Okay. Killer feature number 14. Trust indicators. Trust indicators. And what I mean by this are any awards that you've won. So, for instance, I've won Yorkshire's Businessman of the Year as an example. So when you go onto my website, so my landing pages, I've got the logo for Yorkshire Choice Awards that presented me with that award. I've got their logo on my website, and I've got the section on my website about me winning that award. These are all trust indicators, building up trust. So any awards that you've won, any logos that you can pull from the organisation that's presented you with that award, get on your website. Likewise, any accreditations that you might have got. So I'm guessing for you plumbing and heating engineers that are listening, you'll have got gas safe. Right, get your gas safe logo on. For Sparkies, you might be into renewables and you might have got the MCS accreditation. Right, get that pulled on. You might be CHAS accredited. You might be construction line accredited. All them different types of accreditations and badges need pulling on because all that lot equals trust. Now, I'm more than happy for you. If you're a member of the Trades Freedom Club, we've got a logo that's designed as a trust indicator. So I've got no problems if you want to be associated with the Trades Freedom Club. If you want to drop us a message in our Facebook group and say, Craig, that trust indicator Trades Freedom Club logo, can I have it so I can put it on my website? Of course you can. Because the more you've got on the website and the more trust indicators that other people haven't got, then the more unique you are. Killer feature number 15. This is an FAQ section on your website. So what frequently asked questions do you get asked by your customers? And here's what I want you to consider with this. FAQs are valuable because they help build confidence. Now, go back to what I said earlier. The 4 things that are most important words that you've got to build into your marketing and your sales are know, like, trust and confidence. So if someone's on your website and they're getting to know you, they're getting to like you, they're getting to trust you because they're looking at your video testimonials and your case studies and your reviews, but they're just not quite sure. They've got a few questions that you haven't really answered on your website that's going to equal the final one, which is confidence. We need to build confidence with that person, and how we do it is through FAQs. So you might have a customer sat there thinking, well, I like this company, they're ticking up boxes, but I wonder what the payment terms are. Right. In that FAQ section, you need to put what your payment terms are. Or somebody might be sat there thinking, do you know what? I really like this company, but bang, what's the question that they might be thinking that's preventing them from hitting one of them call to action buttons and going through your vetting form? What are those questions? You need to be aware of these. And by having an FAQ section on your website that answers these, this is the thing that could be the final tick in the right box for that customer to get them over the line to build that confidence. So if you've got your payment terms on, they go, oh, I wonder what the payment terms. Oh, hang on a minute, FAQ. Oh, the payment terms. They take a deposit, they take interim payments, and they take a final payment on the day and final day of the job. Oh, I'm happy with that. Brilliant. They've answered all my questions. I'm going to click that call to action button. Now, we can have FAQs in written format, but let's face it, how long would it take for you to answer the question, what are your payment terms? 15 seconds to explain what your payment terms are? 20 seconds? So why don't you shoot the FAQ section as mini videos? And add them mini videos to your website as an FAQ so people can play the video to get the answer that they need. Because remember, in those videos, people are getting to know you, they're getting to like you, and they're getting to trust you. So if you can do them in videos, brilliant. If not, do them as written format. And the final one, number 16, is, drum roll please, the 16th killer feature is SEO. You have got to make sure that your websites have been SEO'd. And again, I'll do a full-blown podcast episode on SEO, what you need to do, or what you need to be asking these so-called SEO companies that you might be paying a small fortune to every month. You haven't got a Scooby-Doo. You haven't got a clue what they're doing for you. And you're not getting reports off them. You're getting no feedback from them. You're just paying them 500, a grand, 2 grand a month, and you're not climbing ranks. Well, something's not right, is it? So with this in mind, let me just rattle off some phrases and words that you need to be aware of. I'm not going to go into depth in each one of these. I'll save that for another episode. But in terms of SEO, this is what you need to be doing. Number one, all SEO starts with keyword research. So either you do your keyword research or your web company should have said to you, we can't build you a website until we've done the keyword research first. Because born out of the keywords that we find and the words that have got the most search volume, that then is going to determine what your website is built like. In other words, it's going to determine how many pages are built on your new website, because we're going to govern that based on the amount of search volumes for different products and services. So your SEO starts with somebody has got to do the keyword research in depth to find out what are these keywords, how many people are searching for them, and what you need to bear in mind. Write this down, because I'm guessing half your web designers won't even know this. Write this down. You need short tail and long tail keywords. And what I mean by short tail are keywords that people will type into a Google search bar that are under 3 words long. So, as you know, I built, grew and sold one of Yorkshire's most successful loft conversion companies, right? So we knew that Loft Conversions Sheffield, as an example, was one of our were 3 of the most powerful keywords that people were searching for. Loft Conversions Sheffield. Now, because it was 3 words, Loft Conversion Sheffield, we class that as short tail keywords. And short tail keywords are really what all your competitors will be going for as well. So all our competitors that we had for loft conversions in Sheffield, we knew that they'd all optimize their websites for those same keywords. So the competitiveness and how popular them keywords were meant there were more competition, in other words, more websites trying to rank for those 3 short tail keywords. However, what we do is we also do long tail keywords. And these are generally words that people will put into Google, or phrases or sentences that are usually 5, 6, 7 words long. So that it could be, again, I'm just coming off at the top of my head here, instead of it being Loft Conversion Sheffield, which is short tail, it could be Loft Conversions in Sheffield with the most amount of reviews. Now, that is a longer keyword sentence that people may be searching for, but because it's a longer one, not as many people are searching for it, which means the competition is less, which means we've got a better chance of getting to number 1 quicker for the longer tail keywords than we have the shorter. But everything starts with keyword research. Then we've got what we call on-page SEO. On-page SEO. Which means when we build a page or a website, there's certain SEO work that's got to be done on the actual page or on the website. Hence the reason why we call it on-page SEO. And this is where we would work on things such as, this is not the be-all and end-all, I'm just giving you some phrases that you might be familiar with or you might have heard. The on-page SEO consists of SEO titles, meta descriptions, heading tags, image alt tags, image optimization, internal links linking one page on your website to another, and external links linking your website to other relevant, popular websites. Now, that's not the holy grail. That's just some of the most important standard things that need doing on page SEO. But then behind the scenes, as well as the on page SEO, there are things that we call off page SEO. So these are things that you've got to get right that don't get typed into your website page, if you like. These are done outside of your website, they're done off it. So things like speed optimization, how quick does your website load? Because you might look at your website and go, blimey, that's quick to the naked eye, but not to Google. It might be a X amount of fractions per second slower than what they want. So the website is not loading quick enough. Schema markup needs adding onto your website. And schema markup is where Google are going to look at different features that you've added into how your website is displayed on Google. And if your website is going to have schema markup on, it's going to be displayed in a different way, a more priority way, let's call it. So you need schema markup adding on. Secure socket layers or SSL certificate. So you need to make sure your website's got an SSL certificate, which is basically telling all the search engines and your customers that your website is safe and secure. You've got to make sure that you've got the right level of security on your website, and that you're not using a cheap tin pot security piece of software. Because if your website gets hacked, right, you're screwed, and Google don't want that. So you need high level of security. Your website needs backing up. Not every 3 months. Your website needs backing up every week or every 24 hours, like ours do, to make sure we're ticking all the right off-page SEO criteria for Google. So that's not the be-all and end-all to SEO, but there's some of the most important things that you've got to get right to make sure that your website is being SEO'd. Now, they're the 16 killer features that you need to add on. And what I'm going to ask you to do now, I'm going to ask you to go to your website and then go through these 16 features and see how many of those 16 features that you've got on your website. Because most people that have got a modern website will say, Craig, I've got a nice looking website. It's nice and modern. My web designer's done a great job. And I'll say, yeah, brilliant. How many leads a day does it bring in? Well, what do you mean? Well, it's a lead generating machine. That's what the website purpose is. So how many leads a day or a week are you getting that are pre-sold, ready to buy, vetted leads? And in most instances, in most cases, they'll say, well, we do get some leads, but we don't get many. And the ones we get are from time wasters. Are you with me? And so when I start explaining this, they'll go, well, can you have a look at my website and tell me what I need to do so I can go back to my web designer and tell him what he needs to do? I'm like, whoa, hold up a minute. I'll gladly help you, but come on. The guy that's built your website, surely they must know what's failing on your website. Surely they must be asking you, who's your target market? What keyword research have you done? Surely they must be going through these 16 fundamental features with you before they even start your website. Tell me they've done that. And 99.9% of times, people say, no, they didn't. I just spent 500, 1,500, 2,000, 5,000 on a website, and it looks okay, but it doesn't generate me leads. I'm like, exactly, because you've got to brochure website. So for you to generate a high converting website that's going to be an inquiry generating machine, you've got to go back and check your website against the 16 features that I've just shared with you. And then you need to tally up how many of these features you've 100% got on your website. And then what you need to do is you need to make a decision, don't you? And that decision is, do I go back to my existing web guy with all this information, given the fact that surely he should have told me, or do I need to find somebody else that knows the strategy and knows what these 16 features are and knows all about SEO to build it me properly? So that's what I want you to score your website against, these 16 fundamental killer features. Now, you might be listening to this thinking, Craig, I'm an established business. I've got a website now. It's not generating me leads. I'm going to take this information and I'm going to go and do something with it. And that's what you've got to do. There's no point in listening to this podcast and then going away and taking no action. So only you know the action that you're going to take based on what you have and haven't got with these 16 fundamental features. Okay. Or you might be a new business and you know deep down that you need a website, but you haven't got one just yet. Well, listen, you've just struck gold, haven't you? Because everybody else, I'm guessing, that's had a website built has now sat there thinking, well, I ain't got any of this and it's not generating me leads, so I've wasted my time and money. And 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what they've done. Me included. My first website I had in 1996. In 1996, I got my first website. It cost me £225 for my first website. Google didn't even exist back in 96. The number one search engine back then was called Ask Jeeves. And I had that website built. Now, after that, over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, I had another 2 or 3 websites built. And even back in 2001, I was paying £2,500 for a website back in 2001. And none of this happened. I didn't get an avalanche of leads. So back then I thought, do you know what? I'm fed up of having my pants pulled down. I'm fed up of being sold this and sold that and promised this and I'm going to get you on Google. I'm going to get you this and get you that. And it just didn't work. So I said to myself all them years ago, do you know what? I'm going to learn about marketing myself. And I did. And the next website I had built, which was in 2003, were SEO to the max, and it cost me $5,500 back in 2003. But I tell you something, we were number 1 on Google for every single search term. All my blog articles were hitting number 1 on Google. In 2010, when I started doing video marketing and I got into YouTube and SEO in YouTube videos, we just dominated YouTube. So come 2010, you could not go on internet anywhere or online and not find my business. We absolutely dominated. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is if you're a new business, right, don't go and make the mistake that I made and start spending money on websites with no strategy. Don't go and make the mistakes that the vast majority of other people that are established have gone and done, and that's waste of time and money. Take this podcast and take this information and make sure that when you do have the website built from scratch as a version 1, you get all this lot on it straight away. And you will save yourself months, if not years, of pain in wasting time and money on websites that do not work. You put this in place and I guarantee, not overnight, but over a period of time, when Google start indexing your website and you've got all these features on and it's built with no like, trust and confidence, you will start to get an avalanche of leads. So let me finish off with this scenario to everybody that's listening to this. You could do what I did and what you may well have already done. And you can go and spend 500 quid, 2 grand, 3 grand, 5 grand on a brochure website that's got none of what I've just shared with you on it. So let's half that. Let's say 2.5 grand. You could go and spend 2.5 grand on a brochure website that's going to do absolutely nothing other than give you a bit of an online presence. Or you could save your investment until the point where you've got the right budget to find the right company. And then if you went and invested between 6 to 9 grand, which sounds a lot of money, but hear me out in this scenario. If you went and spent 6 to 9 grand on an all singing, all dancing website with all these 16 fundamental features in and SEO to the max. But that says 6 to 9 grand generated you tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of business every month. What scenario would you rather take? Spend 2.5 grand and get really nothing and have to start again, or save your time and your investment and spend 6 to 9 grand and get a website that's going to generate you tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of profit every month? Which one would you get? If money were no option, which one would you go for? And I'm pretty sure you sat there going, Craig, it's a no-brainer. I'd go for the 6 to 9 grand one and I'd get it done right first time round and get all that profit in. Well, I think you've just answered your own question on what you need to consider moving forward. If you've got value from this episode or any of the previous episodes that I've recorded for you, could I please ask you to leave me a quick review? So whatever platform you are listening to this episode on, whether that be Apple, whether that be Amazon Music or Spotify as an example, I'd be truly grateful if you could leave me a quick review. Because the more reviews that we can build up, the more the platform will push the podcast out to more people, and the more people that can consume the content, then clearly the more tradesmen and women we can help to build, grow and scale their businesses. Finally, if you're not already a member of our Trades Freedom Club Facebook group and community, could I please ask you to consider clicking the link in the description and heading over to our Facebook group and coming and joining thousands of other positive, helpful and supportive trades and construction business owners that are all there to help and support each other on our journeys. And remember, the results that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. I'll see you on next week's episode and I'll meet you at the top. Thank you.